Hi, it's Dr. Gemma, and I'm going to interrupt my series of strategies that I'm doing on improving your sleep through better daily habits. I think I'm up to part 4 as I record this. And instead, I'm going to talk about the holidays because it's 2 days before Thanksgiving. And everybody asks this to therapists at this time of year. How do I handle the holidays without, going crazy, hurting someone, whatever? And so for me, this is a very long topic, and it involves a lot of the other strategies that I'm putting up on this site that you should be practicing all the time. But specific to the holidays, for me, it falls into 3 categories: budget, crazy relatives, and schedule. All right, so I'm going to start with the easiest, and that's budget. People don't like to talk about money, and they don't bring it to psychotherapy nearly as often as they should, and yet we would all agree that if we don't have enough money, we're definitely stressed, worried, depressed, anxious, whatever. So here am I giving you permission. Please be a therapist. Talk to your therapist about money issues as well. We're not financial advisors, but we can usually recommend somebody. Okay? The important thing is, I said we're going to talk about budget, and about 70% of you literally just went, what budget? That's right. It's time to join the adult world if you haven't already and make a budget. Now, in terms of the holidays, because budget could take 5 or 6 sessions, but in terms of the holidays, you should have a separate bank account for your holiday budget, no matter how small. All right, even if it's $50. And that means that in the new year, you go online or you go to your bank and open a spare savings account and link it to your phone app for your bank, or you go online and you find a bank and you open an account, look for a bank that pays some interest, and you open an account and you label it holidays. If you say you get 2 paychecks a month, so you're going to take a small amount out of every paycheck faithfully and put it in that account. That's going to feel hard in January, but in November of 2020, you're going to be really grateful you did this, okay? And so, for example, say I decide my budget's going to be $2,400. That's easy. And that's going to cover Thanksgiving and Christmas, all the Christmas stuff and the Christmas presents. Okay, so I have to put $100 per paycheck into that account to make this work. Needless to say, you should have little accounts like this for your taxes, for any major savings project, all right? And you just let them accumulate. And there are a lot of good ways to do this. There are even accounts, there's one called Acorns, that every time you spend, what you spent, and it'll round it up to the next dollar. So if you spend like $2.50, it'll round up to $3. That's 50 cents. It'll put that extra 50 cents that would have rounded up to the next dollar into your Acorns account. And that's a great way to save. You don't even realize you're doing it. You're just putting pennies aside at a time into this account. So this is how you manage the holiday budget. If you don't have a holiday budget already, now is the time. Sit down, go through what you have, decide what you can spare. Do not use credit cards. If you don't have a lot, you need to send out that letter to all your loving relatives now that say, we're a little tight on funds, so we'll be making handcrafted kids things from our kids for you this year. We're really sorry. Next year we hope to make it up. Thank you for your understanding. People who love you should understand this, okay? But put aside what you can. Please don't go into debt. Please, if you can avoid, if you already have debt, don't add to your debt. Don't say, I can afford an extra dollar in interest every month. It doesn't work that way. Interest builds. So please don't go into debt. Okay. Next is scheduling. This is also pretty straightforward. Don't change your scheduling. Now, of course you will, but let's be real. All of us have some variation of kids, or especially little kids who need stability, people with health issues who need routine treatment, including mental health, including, if you're seeing a therapist, you shouldn't be skipping for the holidays. This is the most stressful time of the year. Why would you not see your therapist at this time of year? Elderly people who need routine doctor appointments, medical care, maybe dialysis, things like that, all right? So those things must be taken as being the first priority, and they should be kept the same. And I mean things as simple as piano lessons. Because if you let little Bobby skip the piano for 2 weeks at Christmas, good luck getting him started again in the new year. You want the whinging? I don't want the whinging. Keep everything as stable as you can, all right? This means if you have relatives visiting, you have to explain to them that we are still honoring these commitments. And by doing that, you give them the freedom to do the same. And sometimes that means you don't get to go to a party or they don't come to your party. And we have to all be grown-ups and say, I respect that. Is there another time we could meet? I'd love to just get together with you for a cup of coffee just to celebrate the holidays because I love you and care about you. This is also a good way to diffuse the crazy relatives, which is issue number 3. Your relatives are often crazy because they're worrying about budget and scheduling. Or granddad didn't get to go for his medical appointment, so he's grouchy when he shows up on Thanksgiving. So if you give people the freedom to budget appropriately, you don't hold it against them if they can't afford an expensive gift. If you give people the freedom to schedule as they need to maintain their healthy routines, they'll be a lot nicer on the holiday visits. And if you say things like, I'm so sorry you can't come Thanksgiving Day, but I really understand why the recent snowstorm and packing 6 kids into a small van would make your life hell on earth, then you can say to them, let's you and I meet. Or can I come over sometime and just bring the presents and we'll have a cup of coffee with your family? Or can you come over and bring the kids and we'll just have a private party? You'd be amazed how much goodwill you can get out of that. And those little private parties are a lot easier to manage than 30 people trampling hors d'oeuvres into your carpet, okay? So this can help you too, and it can extend the holiday joy throughout the year by having little private parties instead of big crazy parties because people were doing healthy things like taking their kids to the dentist. Everybody's going to be a lot happier. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the crazy relatives. Well, we just helped them out a lot because we just gave them permission to live within their budgets, to be free to talk to us realistically about their financial needs, and to schedule things that they need to schedule so that they're not sitting at our Christmas party wishing that they were getting that bridge put in on their teeth, okay? So our crazy relatives probably got a lot nicer based on the first 2 segments of this video. However, there is still a crazy relative who has to come, and I'm going to go for the hot button and talk religion or politics, particularly politics right now. It's a very, very hot topic. All right, so what do? I'm going to tell you what to do, and I want you to do it right now. I want you to pull out a piece of paper or a computer notepad or whatever you use. I want you to write down the 5 positive values that are the most important to you in yourself. What are the 5 things that you believe, the positive things you believe that you embody? Not that you want to embody, but that you work to embody every day. So, for example, I would say compassion, generosity, mercy, maybe that's the same as compassion, honesty, kindness, okay? I don't know if those are my top 5, but that's what springs to mind. All right, so now I'm at a party and crazy Uncle Teddy walks up and he starts in on his very unique political views, which I think are asinine, all right? If I am kind, am I really going to fight with him about this? Well, I did say integrity is my value. Maybe I think since the kids are listening, I need to set him straight. Okay, fair enough. How would I do that and maintain kindness? And Uncle Teddy's a little, old and off in the head, and he's retired, and he's living in a small apartment in a old age complex, and he's not dealing with a lot of reality. Okay, so if I'm going to be compassionate, I'm going to realize he feels left out. He feels isolated and cut off, and he feels like the younger kids, like my kids, aren't listening to him. So what am I going to do? Before Thanksgiving, I'm going to sit my kids down and tell them who Uncle Teddy is. And I'm going to say, Uncle Teddy's going to say a lot of things that we don't agree with. But we're going to listen respectfully, and we're going to thank him and walk away when he's finished. We're going to let him have his say, because that's compassion. Everybody needs to be heard. Okay? Now, if Uncle Teddy just can't quit, or Uncle Teddy starts attacking us personally, I know what your radical liberal mother is saying. I get that a lot, because I am. Sorry, guys. See, I am. And if he says that, we have to remember we talk to our kids about, now he's just attacking us personally. And we say the truth. Uncle Teddy, I feel that you're attacking me personally. I don't think that's an appropriate Thanksgiving value. Do you hear the I statement? Uncle Teddy, you're a jerk. That's not what I said. Uncle Teddy, I feel that you're attacking me personally. I feel this is not a good Thanksgiving thing. Why do I want to say Halloween? I'm walking away. Now, one of the risk places is the dinner table. Everybody's in the middle of the meal, and that's when Uncle Teddy's going to start because he knows you're helpless. Because if you get up, you'll insult the hostess. Okay, what I would tell you then, it's a good time for two things. One is truth speak, and the other is broken record. Truth speak, using I statements. Uncle Teddy, I don't think that's appropriate for us to keep the peace over this dinner. Uncle Teddy, I would far rather talk about how delicious this meal is. Thanks, Cousin Marge. Did I tell you how much we love being here today and how beautiful your house looks? Okay. So, in other words, speak the truth. I am not going to do this. I am not going to participate. You don't have to say anything back. Uncle Teddy, you're an idiot. You don't have to even address him. What you need to say, look up and say, over this delicious feast, I am not participating in a political discussion. That's all you say. But Uncle Teddy keeps going. And by the way, that was truth speak. Here's broken record. Uncle Teddy, I'm so happy to see you, and I'm still not participating in a political discussion. Uncle Teddy, aren't these green beans delicious? And I'm still not participating in a political discussion. Uncle Teddy, did I mention that I'm not participating in a political discussion? What's really going on is people who want to start uncomfortable conversations. People come in and they're going to save you for the holidays, because that meets their power needs or their spiritual or religious thoughts or whatever. Sometimes those are the same, sometimes not. Okay, Uncle Teddy, thank you. I'm not going to discuss that over Thanksgiving dinner. And be really careful about, I'm not going to discuss it at all, because you might set them off and everybody is now suffering. But again, truth speak and broken record. What does broken record do? Broken record basically acknowledges that the person is trying to get a rise out of you. So you just keep saying the same thing in the simplest language over and over. Uncle Teddy, I won't be discussing that at the dinner table. Uncle Teddy, I think I said I won't be discussing that at the dinner table. Uncle Teddy, I'm really not going to discuss that at the dinner table. Do not defend yourself. Uncle Teddy, I have been telling you for years. Uncle Teddy, we know what our faith is. Uncle Teddy, I know my political beliefs, blah, blah, blah. Don't defend yourself. Speak the truth. Uncle Teddy, I won't be discussing that. That's the truth. That's it. Okay? So there you go. That is the basics. But before you do the basics, I want you to just right now, you can do it right now while I'm talking, write down your 5 values. Sit down with your family tonight, talk about them with your family, to explain who the relatives are. You know them, you know who's going to start the problem. Explain it to your kids. Tell them to pay attention to you. Tell them to follow your lead. Rescue them if Uncle Teddy goes after them. Step in. Uncle Teddy, little Bobby is not talking about religion at the dinner table. Or Uncle Teddy, little Bobby's faith is my business as his parent, not yours. Okay, speak the truth, broken record, but explain to your family who everybody is in the great game you're about to play called Holiday Meals. And remember, keep within your budget, stick to your schedule, and good luck with Uncle Teddy, okay? So there we go. Everybody have wonderful holidays, no matter what you're celebrating. Everybody stay safe. Please stay safe out there. Please drink and drive responsibly. Take care of each other. God willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll talk to you soon. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy solstice celebration, whether it's Hanukkah, Christmas, Yule, Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating. May you have blessed and happy times together with your beloved ones. Bye-bye.